picture. Premier League clubs say they're not going to endorse it, they're not going to pursue it. But what was your view of it? What did you make of it?
Well, I think it was a very clear statement from the Premier League that what is going to happen. I think we all have to review the actual context and how we can help each other and make football more sustainable. But I think it has to be agreed by everybody. And yesterday's statement was very clear regarding that.
You played for Arsenal, of course. You captained Arsenal. You know what the club stands for. The club would have benefited under the proposals. You'd have had a greater say. Is there a danger that it could have damaged the relationship between Arsenal and the other clubs, the not so big 14?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's very special the way the Premier League has conducted over the years comparing to any other league in Europe. And I think that's a massive strength. So as much as we can maintain that unity, you know, and sustain our way of doing things. I think that's very valuable. And the image that we project to the outside world is really, really strong. So I hope that we can maintain that.
Is the one club, one vote principle very important for the Premier League?
Well, I don't know. I think if you ask individually to every club, probably they have different opinions. We have to find a way that works for everybody, that can make this game sustainable, you know, and that we can still evolve regarding to the context that we are in the moment, which is important as well. It's completely different than what it was 20 years ago. So we have to move, we have to share a vision in order to achieve that, because at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of every club.
I get the sense you feel it does need some kind of reform, though.
Well, I think we have to protect the lower leagues as well, and this is our obligation. We want to produce grassroots and opportunities for everybody in this industry. I think it's fair to assess that situation and find the best possible way to achieve that. And this is our responsibility as well.
But players coming back from playing for their countries, what is the situation with Kieran Tierney, who came back from the Scotland squad?
Yeah, this is getting very complicated when we are sending players abroad, and obviously you lose control. Some authorities have different regulations to the actual ones in the Premier League. We are still having some discussions with the authorities, and hopefully we will know more this afternoon.
There were reports that he tested positive in the summer. Is that true? Is that the case?
I cannot discuss individual medical things here.
Okay. Is there any chance of him playing this weekend or not?
I hope so.
Okay. Look, Mesut Ozil is not in Arsenal's Europa League squad. He's not played this season. Will he be in the Premier League squad, which has to be confirmed on October the 20th?
Well, he wasn't the only one that is not in the squad. It was a really difficult decision for me to make because to leave players out of the squad at that level where they know that they cannot get involved is really tough. I don't like it at all, but the decision has to be made because we have an exit on foreign players, and unfortunately we have to make that decision.
Arsene Wenger has been speaking about Mesut Ozil. He says it's a waste. You have to find a way to get him involved. Do you take on board what Arsene Wenger says?
I think you have to try to find a way to fit every player with their own qualities, and this is our job and our responsibility, of course, with all the players that you have to manage.
Mikel, thank you.
Thank you.
George, BBC.
Thanks, Mark. Mikel, I know it's hard for you to talk about Kieran Tierney, but do you wish in a way that your players didn't go on international duty, because it's not just him, it's Ronaldo? You know, it's opened up a massive can of worms for a lot of Premier League managers after their international players have gone away.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we know that we have a responsibility with our players as well, with international duties as well, that we have to give the opportunity to our players to do that. They need that. International football needs our players. If not it will not work. I think we can still make things a little bit better for the future, and hopefully this international break helps in order to minimize some of the errors that probably have been done, but the reality as well that there are always some risks, whether they are here or there, to take it, clarify certain rules, certain protocols, try to unify them to give ourselves the best possible chance to protect our players and protect the clubs as well.
When you signed Thomas Partey, it went down to the last day. Was there any doubt that in your mind that signing was going to come off?
Yes, because when it's up to the last minutes, it's always a risk. A lot of things have to happen at the same time, and obviously it's a lot of paperwork to do. It was a challenge to do it in 24 hours, but I'm really happy because at the end we managed it.
Are Atletico a little annoyed the way it all panned out, or is that's nothing they can do?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, when you have a release clause in your contract, you assume that situation can arise at any moment while the market is open. It's completely legal to do it. We have had some communication with them prior to that as well, so hopefully they can respect that action.
How excited should people be to see Kevin De Bruyne versus Thomas Partey in midfield on Saturday, potentially?
Well, let's see. He needs to put a training session today first, see how he goes in the next 48 hours, and then we'll make a decision whether he plays or not.
And you know him very well, but are you surprised Pep Guardiola hasn't signed a new contract yet?
I don't know. It's up to him. I think the last time I heard an interview, he was still really happy there, and he was talking about the future, some of the signings that they've done recently as well. They are really young players, so I don't know. I just want to see him happy.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian at TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you doing?
I am good, thank you.
It does seem that every single week you seem to play Man City. You played them just before the shutdown, and you obviously played them after the restart. Then you played them in the FA Cup as well. It's hardly new now you're taking on Pep Guardiola. I mean, that sort of storyline is a bit old, isn't it?
Yeah, our last fixtures are Man City and Liverpool, I think. Yeah, it's getting really tough. The fixtures that we had at the moment in the next few weeks as well will be really difficult. We know the opponent we are facing. We all know the level that we have to be individual and collectively to beat them. So we haven't had much time to prepare the game, obviously, because today is our first training session all together. But we'll try to go to Manchester to win the game.
Did you say you're not at the level to beat them?
Sorry?
Did you just say you're not at the level to beat them?
No,
Just
that
now.
we have to be at a really top level individually
okay.
and collectively to beat them.
Because at the moment, I would say that Arsenal and City are quite close to each other, aren't they? In terms of you've made a great start to the season and they've had a bit of a stuttering start.
Well, our ambition is to go there and try to beat them again. We know the challenge. You know how hard it is. Every detail, every individual performance has to be top. We have to control a lot of aspects of the game against them that they might be very different to the ones that we have to control against Sheffield. But we have to be able to adapt as a team when we face this kind of opposition.
You've already spoken about Kieran Tierney and the problems in terms of the different regulations, even in England and Scotland. Is it time, as it's shown because of Kieran and other players getting tested positive over the international break, that we maybe gave international football a rest?
No, I think international football has to continue going because there are some competitions that have to happen. They were already delayed last summer, and they have to take place because as well those organisms have to be sustainable, and we all understand that. What we are asking is that to try to unify those protocols, rules, to try to create a safe environment for our players, but as well protect the clubs because obviously the impact that having a few players out when we resume the Premier League, it's really big. One
player who has had a good midweek was Eddie Nketiah, who got the under-21 record for goals after his goal against Turkey at Wolverhampton. how close is he to being somebody who could play every single week alongside Aubameyang or Lacazette?
Well, it's very close because he's already challenging everybody every week, whether he's started or not. I always have doubt with him because the way he trains and he performs, his goal scoring record is getting better and better every week. He's evolving the right way, and this is what we need. Players challenging and knocking on the door to become starters for us.
And finally, you mentioned Project Big Picture earlier. Another thing which has emerged in the last couple of weeks since we last spoke to you is the fact that games for all clubs are going to be on TV, whether they're shown by a broadcaster or you have to pay per view. I know some fans are not happy about having to pay and having to pay £15 to watch every game. Do you understand some fans who maybe think, hang on a minute, this is an unprecedented situation. Maybe we should be giving the games for free.
Yes, I completely understand. We are having more discussions with the Premier League and the broadcasters in order to achieve a good solution for all parties. As you said, it's an unprecedented situation. So I think we are learning from it, trying to adapt from it and make the right decision. But yeah, football is based on our fans and the viewers that we have. And we have to respect them and have them as much as possible on board with us because we really need them and we can see how different this sport is without them.
Well, good luck at Man City on Saturday.
Thank you.
Nick from Haters.
Hi, Mikel. Just sorry to continue the transfer window forever, but just a quick couple of questions on loan players. Do you expect anyone to go out on loan still? I'm thinking particularly about William Saliba and his situation.
Not at the moment.
So he'll be staying at Arsenal as far as you're aware?
Yes.
Okay. Just Arsene Wenger was mentioned earlier. He's been publicising his book. He said a couple of things. One, that he thinks you're doing a great job, and another thing that he would like to come back and cheer Arsenal on at a match when fans are allowed back. What are your reaction to his comments?
Sorry, what's the second one?
He said he'd like to come back and cheer the team on when fans are allowed to return to games. Would you like to see him back at the club?
I would like to see him back around us. He was a massive figure for me. It's someone that I can still learn a lot of things that I will have to, and I would like to have closer to us. Obviously, the actual environment, it doesn't allow us to do it, but I think it's a figure that has to be very present in what we do at the football club because he's, in my opinion, the one that had the vision and helped this club to evolve and be the club he is today.
I've been meaning to ask you this question for ages because when Arsene left, he was manager and then the next guy came in as head coach and you initially came in as coach, but they changed your role, promoted even you to manager. When you changed job, did that come with a bigger and better contract as well?
No, it's a way of the way we have moved our structure right now because we believe that it was going to be more efficient. As you know, we made a lot of changes. We are still adapting and things will evolve in the future even more regarding the needs that we have. But we have a very clear idea of how we wanted to run the club, the right people that we need in every department to try to achieve what we are trying to do. And we believe that that was the right structure for us to work and move forward.
Now, when the transfer window does close and you've sorted out all the players' deals, are there any plans for the club to talk to you about extending your initial deal?
I don't know. We just finished the transfer window at the moment where I can say that I'm really happy at the club, that I feel valued, I feel respected and very supported at the moment. But my concerns are with all the work that we have to do here, the improvements that we need around the team and try to sustain the level of performances and get better.
Okay, just final one. But all managers ask for as much time as possible. Presumably, if you were offered a longer deal, you'd want one, wouldn't you?
Yes, but I have to earn that, you know, and now in football, you have to earn that every week and things change really quickly. So we have to be in our toes. Obviously, it's my responsibility to plan medium and long term as well, but with or without me, you know, at the end, the time that I'm going to be at this football club, it will be related to how much I can move the club forward, improve the team and get success on the pitch and get the values and the vision that I want to implement at this club as well off the pitch.
Okay, thanks. Best of luck.
Thank you.